Oh, okay. Well.
Right, it says I'm live, so I'm imagining and thinking that I'm live. So I won't wait for anyone who's trolling in the comments to let me know I'm live. I'll just act as if. So this is the second meeting of the Ali Dawah Appreciation Society, and one of its founders is to the side of me. I'm not sure how it's going to come out when it's processed, but you all know him and love him. I know you do if you're Christian. Big intro, is it worth it? I mean, he's special, a prophet potentially. He's, all of that jazz. Over to you. Welcome.
Howdy. How are you doing? No,
You kind of go southern, but then it veers up into other countries.
Yeah, I don't know. I just wanted to make a different entry, and I wasn't prepared. I didn't really prepare anything in advance, so I'm trying.
No way.
Yeah.
Have you ever with me?
Yeah, no. No.
You're prepared to turn up once and you didn't, so
that's true. That's true.
How much do you love Ali Dawah right now? Like in terms of what he's done for blows against Islam?
I will not go as far as David went on his live stream when he said if I was gay and if I was interested and if I was deaf and blind and I was into people who expose Islam, then Ali Dawah would be my favorite or something like that. That's what he said.
I think he may have offered to polygamously marry him. I can't remember. I'll have to flip it out now.
That was personally my weirdest.
I watched your face when you said
the weirdest David Wood moment to me that I have so far experienced.
You've got some good ones up there, so that's an accolade. I'm still reeling from when he says when he's doing the impersonation. It just kills me. And the English accent is but I'll allow it. So everybody, if you don't know, very recently, I should have got the video ready, but I'm not that gal because I'm using my phone instead of my computer. He recently, in a nutshell, said that everyone's been really surprised that I said that the scientific miracles have been debunked. Let me say it again. And then he said it again, like within seconds. Sorry, let me just cancel this call. Yeah, so he said that, and then he said, and I'll just say, like, people were saying, "Oh, what are you doing?" And I told them, nobody else is making videos calling me out, and that's because they all know anyway, which was quite telling. Then he basically, to summarise, he said it wasn't important anyway. Only like 50 years of apologetics, and we've still got intimidation. You can still be a thug. Come and join us. Christians, die in your rage, because apparently I forgot to tell you, we were all apoplectic as opposed to celebrating. Oh, and if you're an Islamophobe, obviously you're really happy at the moment.
That is the dumbest thing, right? That is the dumbest thing. I mean, he actually goes out there and says the scientific miracles are complete nonsense. The very scientific miracles that we are constantly hearing from Muslims and then responding to and debunking. He comes out there and says the scientific miracles narrative is nonsense, and then he is like, "You Islamophobes, die in your rage." Dude, you just made us so happy. You just made us.
The thing is also, sorry to interrupt. Basically, if someone's begrudgingly, like they're trying to save face, and they've lost something. Maybe someone's just lost all their money gambling. I don't know. And they say, "Oh, it's only money. I didn't need it anyway." He's got that attitude. He's saying on the one hand, like verbally, it's of no importance. I don't know why we've been mucking around all this time. It's clearly nonsense, and it's been debunked. He still hasn't told us where or by who. Just him, basically, in his head. But he was so angry, like he was projecting the anger onto Islamophobes and Christians, and that just is so telling, because it's basically like when someone gets caught doing something they shouldn't be, and then tries to front it, which is exactly what it is, I think.
Exactly. I think that's what's going on. That's what's up. So he is just doing some of the basic coping that is out there in the worst possible way, because
his coping mechanisms. What a boon for all of us. Between him and hijab, I mean, I don't really want to start another society. Maybe I'll just tag him on, but between them as a duo, like as a comedy duo also, but they've basically sewn it up for everybody. There's no preservation, and by the way, even if there were any scientific miracles you may have heard about, I can reel off 15 from my other phone. Nah, they were all toddle. So it's not much more. So I spoke to him also on Sunday after I finished streaming because the signal was so terrible there because of the concert. So I recorded it. I played it to the members. I sent it to AP and to David. And I think in a moment we're going to listen to my dulcet tones.
I believe so.
Yeah, stressing it.
You want me to try it?
Yeah, I'll just give a little bit of context. I think I said it in the bit prior to. He makes arrangements to talk to me. Basically, he was waiting for a note from his mum, kind of thing. So yeah.
Okay.
Let's have a go. We can think about the 7 ozone layers whilst we wait.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, number 6 is my favourite.
I think you have to. I shared the screen, and you have to put it on the screen or something like that.
Ooh, try me. I can connect my computer for a second.
No, the way that when you put me on the screen, you know, when I entered the room.
Yeah, if it pops up, by all means, I'm going to say yay.
There should be,
because it's on the phone.
Oh, yeah.
It's ever so slightly different. So I'm going to just get my computer up as well. But did you click anything? Did anything?
Yep, I'm clicking present right now.
Oh, shizzle. Then I don't see it.
Share screen, and now it should appear to you, and you should be able to add it to the. Oh, now she kicked herself out. That is fantastic. Yeah, Kay is doing a horrible, absolutely terrible job with hosting this live stream. She's on her phone for some reason. I mean, who goes live on their phone for a live stream for something as important as this?
Okay, as we can all tell at this stage.
Yeah, I was just talking about how great you are in streaming and stuff. Yeah.
I'm aware that you love me in the same way that I'm aware when I was at school and boys would punch me really hard. I thought, yeah, that's affection somewhere underneath. I don't see anything. I'm gonna try and come on from my computer, and then I'll just recount it blow by blow, as it were, because I also spoke to Big Fat Shake. You all know him, who I mean, the tea-tail guy, not the little tea-tail guy, the big fat tea-tail guy. I asked Usman, I asked Hashim, Mansour, and eventually Shamsi, but I feel like that was on my stream. And none of them, interestingly enough, gave a similar answer.
I don't even know most of those people.
Yeah, that's because you aren't really a friend of mine, and you don't watch my Speakers Corner live streams, and you just don't care about London atheists and Christians.
I don't care
because of the aforementioned horrible person thing. But yeah, let me 2 seconds. So basically, I asked all of the Dawah in the park what they believed.
Feedback. Amateur hour. Big amateur hour here. Oh, still there. Oh no.
That's the most annoying thing. Is keeping my mouth shut, let alone anything else. That's oddly difficult for me. I know you can't believe it, but yeah. So that's added. Oh.
That sounded like there was a secret message being brought.
There was. It was love Jesus, accept the word. It was kind of like the reverse of the satanic 1960s long play record thing.
Yeah.
I'm glad you noticed. It was all intentional.
That's good.
So,
also, you finally did put my screen on here. That's good. Okay.
Yeah, no, because listen, I'm obviously tech savvy.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
All
okay,
right,
so when you're ready.
Yeah. Oh, no sound. All right, now.
Okay. So I went and approached Ali before, and I asked him, could I have
can't hear it.
Soonish.
You can't hear it?
No.
What is this?
There can't be anything else I have to okay. I said add to the stream. Oh, it has to be going through. If you got mic.
Can you remove that thing on your screen there?
What thing?
Oh no, you can't. Okay, that you have that by default.
Tell me what thing, and I'll.
Okay, I'll try it again. I'll try it again.
I think it's the audio. Oh, now it's disappeared. Are you kidding me?
Okay, now put it back on again here.
Yeah, give me 30 seconds and some screechy noises.
Oh look, everybody said they could hear it, but you couldn't hear it.
Oh well, that's fine then, because I was there. I mean, you know.
So it was a you problem. It's a you.
But most of them are, I find, just in the psychological terms. Right. Yeah. Okay, give me 30-ish seconds, and all just kind of plug your ears. Oh, think about Jesus and lovely stuff.
Absolutely.
Utilitarianism. Science. Richard Dawkins. Science.
Yeah, science.
Bill Nye, the science guy. Everyone, think about that.
No, I don't want to.
But you have to. One of your heroes. Right. So if I mute this, it should stop the feedback. But lol, she said, pretending. Right. Let's do it.
Why are you not doing this on your computer?
I am. That's it.
Mute your microphone. Okay, gone. Okay, awesome. Now let's try it again.
And he said, I have to ask if I'm allowed because you all are, you know.
Can you hear that?
Not me personally. Anyone in the chat?
They
can you hear my dulcet tones?
Maybe you can read the captions and see what's going on, since you're not familiar.
Oh, they're funny when they try and guess cocktail.
You're going to try and twist things. And
I know what happened.
Reminded him gently that the last time when he finally did agree to talk to me, he was pleasantly surprised that he said so on camera. So he then said, "Oh no, I have to ask permission." I gave him an advance warning of what I want to ask him, and I gave him my word. Don't know what possessed me to say that I won't be derogatory or whatnot. But it is me. So, I mean, no more than...
Why is there wind? Couldn't you get rid of the wind?
It was a blessing. It's been horrible.
So anyway, let's go and find out. He said he's got to go and pray. Then he gave me a time. I see him over there. Let's go and ask him if he's got permission. I can't show you, but there's some kids. They're very cute. He's just talking to somebody, so I don't want to interrupt him at the moment.
Hear it now.
But now I know he's going to hang out this conversation, which potentially would have taken 30 seconds for a half hour, waiting for me to die of boredom or heat exhaustion. But there is a nice breeze, as you can tell by my hair, basically. Let's ask him. 2 minutes, you forgot to ask it. You're saying I'm not your number one priority to his club. Where is he? I haven't even seen him. Let me ask him. But if you do, like, what's your name? Al, it begins with a K, and it is K. Not 3 Ks. I'm not in a white hood. Just 1 K, just K. Ali, tell him I've given him my word. He can listen. It's not live streaming. It's just recording. So. No, he's going to go and ask permission from his mum. No, Mansell.
Do you want me to move fast forward to when he actually appears, or?
Yeah, I mean, I'm hilarious all the time.
Yeah,
but
you are.
Sure, I'm going to make this public, by the way, everybody, afterwards. So.
Oh, really? Yeah.
And does he pay your wages? So why do you have to ask him? Does he feel like you're not clever enough to debate me? Because I don't want to debate. But I don't want to debate. I want to know just what. You're a messenger, but the last message has already been in the Al, it can't be all right to be that intolerant of everybody and call for killing and then not tolerate me, surely. Al! Ali, this could have been over in seconds. Now it's too hot for this. Look at him making it. Ali, it's lovely that you're trying to call people, but do you think people who converted by the scientific miracles should recant their faith? Neither is Ali. She said there's a brother seeking the truth, but they've come to Ali. Oh, do I have to follow him with me? I could do. Let's go see if Mansell's free. Maybe you can tell me. Let's see. I don't even know if he asked him, because last time when he said he had to ask Hashim flat out denied it. In fact, let me just go and ask a few other questions. Sorry, excuse me. Where's Mansour? You say Mansour? Mansour? Was he here a second ago? Yeah. What about Hashim? What's Hashim about? I ain't seen him. Yeah, I saw it, but I can't stream. I haven't seen Hashim today. No, I haven't seen him. Okay, I just need to. Mansour apparently just told Ali he wasn't allowed to talk to me. I don't think it's true, but I want to ask.
Okay, here's something that I do not understand. I don't get the dynamic here.
Okay, yeah. So there's a team of Dawah. They're all loosely unaffiliated, but at the same time will lie for each other. And so Hashim and Mansour, I don't think they're in authority over, like, for example, Adnan Rashid or I don't know, Shabir or something like, but they're kind of mid-level management. So he did go and make a big show of jumping in front of a whole bank of cameras and asking him something that I couldn't hear, which potentially could have been what's the time. But the last time, he said, Hashim says I can't talk to you. Because I think that literally when I asked him, do they think you're not clever enough? He said, probably, or maybe, I can't remember, which is honest, if nothing else. But then he has spoke to me in the past and he was quite surprised because I bit my tongue and didn't make him look too stupid that he knew about. So they've got kind of handlers, I think is the proper term.
That is very, very weird.
Do you agree? In the Quran, he said it's all finished, like it's not true. He did a video on it. You seen it?
No, I didn't watch.
Okay, well, it's about a 7-minute video. He said it's been debunked, and then he goes for the killing of people and the blah blah blah. And he's all right. And I'll ask you next week. Right. So let me just go and tell Ali that he's a little sugar. Then I'm going to go and find a reasonable. In fact, I know where there's. Let's just go and tell him quickly. Oh no, he's just saying, he told me, it's ages now. It's been like no one believes it. But he did a video, and in that same video, he was a bit Ali, if you know, like people should be killed and blah 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 blah. Yeah, I don't watch them. Someone said, no, trust me, I don't watch them. But what I'm saying is, you still think there's scientific miracles in the Quran, so that makes him a sort of unbeliever-ish. Like he doesn't believe that. He said they've been debunked. And you don't believe it either, I'm guessing. Your face isn't on the camera. No, I'm saying.
Wow. So we have several Muslims here who don't agree at all that the scientific miracles have been debunked.
They were the only two. So Usman has been there the longest. He's been there, the guy in the green, the Pakistani gentleman. He's been there about 40 years, asking the same questions. But he was the only one who would say just like, no, that's not true. They're correct. And when I was saying, so he's a bit of an unbeliever, in my mind I was thinking he's called for unbelievers to be given a large haircut. So I was just double checking if anyone fell into that. But
that's cool.
I do believe it. It's about 7 minutes long. It says scientific miracles debunked, and then he says non-believers kill, all that kind of. Apparently Christians can die in their rage because we're all annoyed. I was laughing when I was watching it. I don't know what I'm annoyed about.
For God, his life doesn't worth nothing.
It's what you do with it.
Yes. Doesn't worth nothing.
Yeah, it's not just about
if you believe, if you don't believe, whatever you follow, he can give you word, he can give you money, he can give you health, he can give you anything.
Christians, for what we believe is, we believe that God thinks that's important, because we believe that God is the most truthful, the most, like the highest things. So he doesn't want to be around people who are murdering and lying. Not around, like he's not going to bless those people until they change their ways.
If someone rich, billionaire, have money, have everything he wants, it doesn't matter. Yes.
I don't think that you can actually get through to this guy that you're talking to, whoever that is.
That's the story of my life. I get through to people via the videos, though. I do. I mean, that's That's a fact. There are some people in Speaker's Corner who are not Muslims anymore, but they don't tend to advertise it, weirdly, because they like, again, the head on the shoulders look. It's a traditional
Black
one.
Angel is saying you should take a tablet with you to show them the clip when you go to the park, and then ask them what they think about it.
They all look. I mean, I'm confident that I know that from the answers other than Usman, the fact that none of them said, what do you mean? Like, of course, like they all gave a nuanced answer and tried to like play with the words, which leads me to believe that even if they haven't watched it, they know that he's done this. I mean, they don't live under rocks, but they all pretended they hadn't. So
maybe they don't. I mean, maybe even these Muslims are aware that Ali Dawah is a complete idiot. So
I feel like they'd have to have some sort of medical certification to make that claim. I mean, speak to him for a couple of seconds and there it is, obvious.
Yeah. Let's see.
Yes, that's right. Yeah. Right, let's find another Muslim because I nearly got sidelined. Come on. Normally can't shake a stick without hitting a Muslim. Let's ask you. You're not on camera, it's facing this way. Can I ask you a 10-second question? Sorry to interrupt. I promise it's pointing at me and it's not even live streaming. So Ali, I don't know if you saw the video, everyone might say they haven't, but he said all the scientific miracles are debunked. Is that your position also?
I haven't seen the video. I don't know.
Yeah, well, if I said it, would you agree with me?
The term scientific miracle itself is
a misnomer.
Yeah, because if it's a miracle, you can't explain it scientifically. See what I mean?
I do, but
I mean, imagine go to someone and say, "Oh, it's a scientific miracle. Jesus was born miraculously."
Well, no, it's it's supernatural. That's the whole.
Exactly. That's the better term.
Sneaky.
I don't even know what to say to these people.
Well, that's a weird claim number 3. I mean, the thing is, 2 weeks ago, if I'd have asked him that, or if I'd have maintained it myself, he would have argued against me straight away.
Yeah.
So it's a shame they're carrying Ali around like it must be annoying. I'd love to be a fly on the wall, as it were, like when they catch up with him. But
and that guy doesn't even understand what is being meant by scientific miracle.
He does. Oh no, he's one of the most duplicitous, but intelligence-wise, full comprehension. He knows exactly what he's not answering. And he knows the reason he's not answering it is because he's trying to make allowances for Ali. Like, you know, if he hadn't seen the video, he knew. He knows it's been said.
I see. That makes sense.
Take you.
But I think the way that I understood scientific Quranic miracles is that pre-knowledge of things that would be verified by science at a later date. So Ali is confidently, and I say confident in as much as
they are not scientific miracles.
well, he's saying they're all debunked anyway. So I'm guessing that's not your.
What it means.
Yeah.
So I can't speak of something I've not seen.
He follows up with a lovely.
Maybe he had some context which we don't know about.
It's a 7-minute bit that he put up.
Yeah, it's the context.
And he also calls for killings and says that Christians will die in their rage. Other than that, he seems quite balanced. Anyway, thanks, Hashim. All right. That's Hashim, everyone. He's usually in charge. So, I mean, Takia is a thing, though, obviously. So no one's seen the video except for Christians. It all seems rather coincidental.
No Muslim likes to watch Ali Dawah videos. That's what we get from this now. Okay.
No one likes it. I think we could just stop right there.
For the free Quran. They usually give a bit of apology.
Do you actually eventually get to have a proper conversation with Ali Dawah?
Not with Ali, no. The last person I spoke to was the Sheikh, and I don't want to spoiler alert it, but his answer was like Jesus came into it at some stage, so he had the traditional answer of but your religion, like that kind of thing. But he's also the Sheikh, actually, who admitted on camera some time ago, and then they all fell into line that Allah isn't, in fact, Yahweh. And he just conveniently forgot that Allah has said he is Yahweh. But they all stopped that at that point. So now that it's there's a two-God debate going on, as it were.
Okay, this is fun.
On camera at the moment, are you? It's pointing at me, this camera.
That's the shake.
The second question for some clarification, if that's okay, about the Quran. Just about something that one of the Ali Dawah, he said that all scientific miracles have been debunked, like it's no longer a thing. And he seemed confident enough that I was wondering, like, do you agree? Does Hashim, so I wondered, would you mind giving me like a...
What is the point of this? I mean, what's the point?
Well, he did. I don't know. He just did.
What's the point of the discussion?
Because
he's asking me, why do I want to know?
Is that I wonder what his colleagues will think. It's like one of the Christians comes along and says, "Oh yeah, this thing that we've been saying for so long, it's not true," and then someone's going to maybe ask me, like,
I will tell you something.
Sure.
For us, if there is something called scientific facts, not theories, we believe there are scientific facts in the Quran. The facts, which is meaning something which is not a theory. For example, I don't agree, for example, with Big Bang Theory, for example, yes? And to use the theories, the science, to prove the Quran. The Quran doesn't need...
prove it, I agree with that.
The Quran doesn't need theories to prove it. And as well, we're talking about the Quran contains facts. Facts meaning that's something that people think it is,
what Ali is talking about is when, so it's not about...
I didn't hear what Ali said.
Yeah,
why can't these people just answer a simple question? Why does it matter what your point is, why you are asking it?
They can't answer a straight question because they're curvy, like they're crooked kind of thing, and they know that it's damaging them. Like what he's essentially saying, for anyone who's not really following, is, well, what do you mean scientific miracles? Why do you want to know? And no, there are scientific facts in the Quran, as if this has been the position forever. I mean, I'm devastated to learn that I don't have sperm, round about there. I feel like it was vouchsafed to me from some sort of honest Muslim. And there's loads. I mean, the sun, there's just loads. I'm sure it now applies to Hadith as well. There's maybe the rocks didn't run around after Moses. I mean, and someone in the comment section who's, I want to say idiot, but I won't be that rude, thinks that I'm desperate to find a Muslim man, when clearly on the camera I'm surrounded by Muslim men. So no, not so much. No, is the answer to that.
Yeah.
I'm not here to defend what Ali says.
No, I don't want you to defend it.
I'm not here to
your opinion because you're ashamed.
My opinion is there are some scientific facts in the Quran.
Yes, and would you say that's a miracle that they were there before science discovered them?
For example, facts.
So you believe that there are
being
miracles?
discovered, facts.
Yes.
For example,
but it would be a miracle for a fact to be in a book from, if it becomes a fact scientifically now, then that's the miracle that the Quran knew so long ago. Yes.
Not theories.
No, I understand.
Facts.
Like the law of gravity or something like that. It's not a theory, it's a law.
It's a fact.
Yeah.
Like, for example, the sunrise from the east. It's a fact. All of these things are facts.
Yeah.
If there are things like this, for example, nowadays, we believe certain facts. For example, the expansion of the universe.
Yes.
This fact.
Yes.
And that's something which is not just only theory. We know it's a fact. There are theories behind it. They say this and that. But we talk about the fact.
Yeah, no, that's my. I agree with this. Well, not that big.
We have created the heavens and we are expanding.
See, this is why when people ask my opinion about Speaker's Corner, I don't know, I would not have the patience to deal with anybody in this.
I don't either, to be honest, but like I believe in the Holy Spirit. But yeah, there's occasions when I've visibly lost my shizzle, as it were. But that's usually like provocation. It's definitely challenging, but I counter it with the thought that I used to watch it before I went, and there were certain things that there were things that I got from those videos and from those people who I knew out, like in real life also, that made it worth it, because sometimes the screechy voices and the violence as well and stuff like that made me not really want to watch it. But I was quite impressed that people were. It's different from just regular on the street kind of thing, in as much as people are confidently asserting stuff that they would usually most likely feel embarrassed about. So there's that, and there's atheists there's flat earthers, there's
the funny thing is, I always think when I try to have a discussion with somebody and they don't give me straight answers, I get very, very quickly annoyed, and I think, why do you have to do this? I don't. I try not to do it. I try to keep it very direct and simple. Why can't you just give me straight answers? Why can't we just have a proper conversation? Is this true? Yes, no.
Yeah, my trigger is slightly different. No. My trigger is deliberate stupidity. So I've got, not infinite, but I've got a lot of patience for people who don't understand what I'm saying, or are asking questions, and maybe they're like, people have different learning styles, so I can, reiterate and rephrase and all of that stuff for a long time. And then when it's unavoidable that it's just deliberate stupidity, then I get angry really quickly, because I think there are people with mental disabilities or mentally disabled people who would use that brain, and you've got that brain and you're using it to be an arsehole, excuse my French, I'm going to go with, but yeah, they're using it to just be facetious or willfully ignorant. And I think life's too short to be pretending you're an idiot when clearly you're still an idiot. But that's my annoyance. So I can just walk away at that point.
It's the same thing with recently when I had this discussion with this reformist Muslim scholar guy, and I kept asking him about a certain Quran verse about 929. And I'm just asking him very simple questions, like, what does it say? Which people should be fought? And he keeps, instead of answering the very simple question, he keeps distracting, keeps bringing up different verses from the Quran, keeps talking about what belief actually means, instead of just answering a very simple question.
Isn't it amazing? Don't you find, though, that it's a Quranic miracle that the innocuous verses, they're all plain and simple. Like, you can ask what they mean. Yeah, it does mean that if you kill one person, it's as if you killed, yeah, that's what it means. What can I tell you? It's in the Arabic. Go home. And then when it's anything contentious, or even sometimes I'll be asking an innocuous question to get to my actual point, but they get the rabbit in the headlights, and they'll just start obfuscating, even when the tafsir is in your hand.
Yeah.
So just that alone would, if I found myself, no offense to your former self, but if I found myself believing all of that stuff, eventually I would come to the point where I would be thinking, this is just too difficult to keep up with, the dissonance and eventually the discomfort would be too much for me. It's not difficult for me to be Christian, it's people's reaction to it is the thing.
But that's what made me leave Islam. That's what I explained to people when they asked me why I left Islam. It took a long time, and I had a lot of questions, especially about internal inconsistencies in the Quran, then inconsistencies between the Quran's narrative and Abrahamic tradition and scripture, and then primarily the scientific stuff that the Quran, when the Quran tries to appeal to nature, tries to appeal to the sun or the sky and impress people with it, but then it talks complete nonsense. It sounds like a very ignorant person from the 7th century speaking. Back when I was a believer, I had so much respect for the Quran and believed it's the word of Allah, but at the same time I'm reading those things, and they just don't go along very much with my education. In my head there is this giant cognitive dissonance going on.
That's it, because even if you were generous and say, well, there was no knowledge of mass media or the internet or hygiene or all of these things in the 7th century, Allah should know. It's all right if Muhammad doesn't know, because he's merely a warner, but someone should know. If it's, even Jibril, somebody somewhere should be going, no, I don't think so.
And they present this one excuse, which is that it needs to be told to the people in the environment in a language that they can understand. But then it makes me think, okay, but does that mean that the author of the Holy Quran has to adjust and has to be stupid? And what about me? What about people in our time reading this right now? Do we really have to bring ourselves to the level of ignorance of 7th century Arabia?
That's what I was about to ask, is that if it's for the I don't know, the intellectual standards, I guess, or the comprehension of the people it's being sent to. It's a book for all time.
Yeah,
it's for all people, or Arabs, I don't know, depending on which bit you believe, but it's definitely for people of nowadays, allegedly. So surely, like, rather than dumb it down, it should be clear and concise. I don't know, call me crazy. Yeah. Whereas the Bible's got like, not a caveat, but there's an understanding that if you're a Christian, you'll have like assistance in understanding it. It won't just be your own understanding, because obviously we can all make stories that, like, just pick the bits you like, but it will, like, you'll have discernment, because Hashim, who was in the video, he knows loads of the Bible. It doesn't help him at all. He's not a better person for it, even just secularly. Like, he's just using it to try and fit together a winning argument, which is still self-refuting, because Allah has already said, like, this is from me. You know, this bit, that bit, and that bit. The rest of it, I don't know. I took my eyes off it for a minute. But yeah, let me now take this screen down. So I'm going to mute myself and then do. Right. I don't know. I did some sort of wrap up, which was probably pithy, but you can watch that afterwards. 2 seconds.
Okay, I just took it down. Yeah, I just stopped my screen.
Like a wizard. It's like some sort of prophet. He just said, "Let it be gone." Boom.
I am amazing.
Well, I mean, your mother probably thinks so also. So, I mean, I think you're. Do you know, when I first watched you, this is some time ago, I remember thinking, like, I was impressed just with the, I don't know, like, just with the chutzpah. Like, I thought he could have just gone home, gone to bed, gone with his life, like, not told anyone that he's, you know, not in the gang anymore. Like, so I don't know, amazing. I mean, I'm pretty stingy with the compliments.
Yeah.
But I was amazed. There you go. I was astonished that you were still alive, quite frankly. I was like, whoa, they're softening.
Did you think I was crazy or something?
No, I knew you would know. No. I thought you were you'd probably just come out of some sort of, in like genuine psychological terms. I remember thinking it must be akin or more so than coming out of a long-term abusive relationship that you know, defended and like had the sort of Stockholm syndrome thing. I thought it must be like a bereavement and a betrayal, you know, like being cheated on. And then, because I remember, yes, I was thinking about Jesus for a change and like trying to approach you. But then I thought, it's like that thing, if your chick does, I don't know, like steals your car and whatever, you're not going to want to go on another date for a hot minute. So, I mean, you could always just use it as a substitute, but
no, but that was a very big motivator, actually, that I'm my whole life I believe that this is my whole purpose, and then I spent especially many years particularly just focused on that, just practicing and learning it, and then in the end it turns out it's and I defend all kinds of nonsense and all kinds of terrible stuff that is very hard to stomach.
The thing is, when people come away from like other cults or cults, like in the traditional, what we think of as a cult, there's a period of, I mean, whilst in there, there's the tendency to attack anyone who, sorry, I have to have the window open a little bit, it's hot in England, for a change. It's, you will attack even people who are trying to help you out, like gently, because it's this like sunk cost analysis, like it's a fallacy. You think, I've put all of this into it, there must be something worse. It's even like relationships that are on the way out. You can't, like, you've put so much of your time and your heart and your whatever into it that it's better to stay in a bit of misery than, you know, venture outwards, because change is just. But yeah, cult people, when they are like reprogrammed, deprogrammed, it's not just an overnight thing. The decision is made, but the fear is as well that, not you because you grew up in it, but people who've been conditioned or groomed into something, they're artificially made to feel despondent and vulnerable initially, so that the mark can, you know, be brought into the cult. So then they know that by coming out of it, they're going to go back into that place of despondency and emptiness. But other than that, I think it's the right law.
That's true. I would not say and not accept that that I reject different religious beliefs or approaches because of that.
But initially, I mean, obviously I didn't speak to you then, but you know the once bitten, twice shy kind of like.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I had an aversion to certain. Okay,
organized religion.
one thing is actually true. When I first left, and I started processing the whole, leaving Islam and what I actually left behind, I did have some anger and some rage directed not only at Islam but toward all kinds of beliefs and all kinds of religion, and I started really hating it and mocking it. But then it quickly, I feel like it quickly. It went away, decreased, and I actually started sympathizing with religious beliefs other than Islam.
I was about to say, yeah, you honed it in again to its rightful destination, like the mockery of Islam, because that's the one that got you. Is it one?
Yeah.
So
precisely.
And I even had a time popular when I'm streaming. Sorry.
I even had a phase where I was kind of exploring Christianity, and
you're still in that phase. Don't try and kidda. You're still in there. Me and David are just gonna pile on.
David would disagree on that, but yeah, go ahead.
Seb Oz, I've really got to talk to you directly at the moment. Your whole concern is of a sexual nature. AP is stuck with one wife, and that's basically the desire of the vast majority of the human population. I don't mean stuck with. I mean that's the most common and usual sexual setup and commitment style is like one-on-one. Unless you're in some weird American cult, and I don't think you're American, or a Muslim. Oh, it's just come to me. Just get a grip. Try to consider your eternity. Try and consider that there's things other than below your waist or in your mind that other adult humans might find integrative or.
Yeah, I mean, really, Seb Oz and others like you.
They come out of a factory, little.
Yeah, it's very weird that your primary concern is your primal.
I don't know that it's weird if you're not getting any.
Yeah.
If you're in your mother's basement, potentially, if they allow you in the house, and you're a virgin, there's nothing wrong with virginity. Don't get me wrong, but if it's involuntary celibacy, if it's an incel type arrangement, especially when you're allowed 4, you haven't got any. That must be really galling.
That must be hard. Must be hard.
Yeah, well, it must be hard. You hit the nail on the innuendo head there. So yeah, polygamous. The most of the world. Oh, please cite your sources other than Twaddle Weekly. Don't be ridiculous.
That's what Ali Dawah and Mohammed Hijab on their weird show.
With their second wives,
they also said that. They also said ask every man if their wife allows it, they would like to be polygamous. And I'm thinking that's a very. I mean, it is one thing to say. If your wife allows it, you might, I don't know, go out and have
a side chick and no questions asked when you go home, and
intercourse and this and that with people. But actually being polygamous, I mean, having multiple wives, I don't think that many people think.
I'll tell you why. Because other than in the honeymoon stage, the majority of my friends are male, and to a man, young man, older man, they've got enough grief with the one they've got. They don't want to replicate and duplicate the perceived headache of being cared for and whatever. They just want to watch football generally and have a beer after work, and just what they call relaxing, which is no emotional processing and a random outburst of aggression. I think.
I appreciate my wife, and I appreciate having a personal.
Thank God. Just gonna throw it out there.
I have a one-on-one relationship, which I appreciate. I would not like having multiple people.
A one-on-two.
Divided attention. I wouldn't even like that. I wouldn't even want that. So
the thing is, just for me personally as well, one is plenty. One is sometimes one too many. Not for you, but just in life. And one is a big number. when it comes to like in your personal space, in your vulnerable, like feelings depend on the happiness of somebody else. Like that's a big scary thing. So I mean, on you go, Seb. I hope that adolescence and puberty don't come as too much of a like a shock to your system. I hope you get a girlfriend one day. And well, I say that. No, I don't. Sorry.
Oh, there's
I hope you read about it in a book and learn about humans. And
there's an interesting comment here by Salahuddin who says, AP, how little do you know about Islam? So little that you can't cite any book on Islamic theology, law, philosophy of law you have read. This is very...
Excuse me, sir. I know this one. Your entire back catalogue of videos where you put up the Islamic sources and when you've quoted the Quran and when you've spoken in Arabic and when you... Is it Saladin? Yeah. Oh, we've got a whole 2 angry Muslims in. Oh, bless them. Oh, it shows you that it's working, I
have right next to me a
book of theology.
A Sahih Bukhari, which is all in one without repetitions.
Nonsense. Yeah, they are big books. They're good if you want to keep your door open or if you're desperate.
I have the Gnostic Gospels for some reason.
Oh, nice. I mean, I can reel off mine, Saladin, if you care.
I have In God's Path, which is about the spread of Islam.
Never mind.
I actually have... Oh, look, this Saladin will probably like this one. He probably will know this one. I don't know if he's...
No, he won't. He doesn't like books.
I read it. This is Al-Aqidah al-Tahawiyya, which is one of the most important...
I was just thinking that.
Books of theology across Islamic schools. I have here Islamic Creed by Ibn Taymiyyah, who is the darling of the Wahhabis, the Salafists.
If anyone goes to buy any of these, please reference AP as your source of like.
I have a Turkish one from the Maturidi branch, which is about all kinds of belief-related stuff. I have an Al-Ghazali book, which is The Alchemy of Happiness, which was my favorite book when I was a Muslim, actually.
When you were deluded, yeah.
Yeah, I have a...
I've got about 7 Bibles. I've got a biography of Jesus. I've got the Crusades. I've got Reformation, which is written by a Catholic and a Protestant, by the way. What else religious? I've got metaphysics, if that counts. I don't know if he knows what that means. I have a criminal history of mankind. I have C.S. Lewis, which is theology. I have lots and lots, actually. Yeah, the First Crusade, the Holy Warriors, myths, the Bible as history.
Look at this. I have a Hadith studies book with tea spilled on it.
Oh, stop the stream. That's it. I won't take it. No, I've got an ashtray balanced on the book at the moment. Oh, and I've also got an Ali Dawah Appreciation Society starter pack. I will actually sell them if I ever get around to being like an organised human being. But I'm going to show you it now. So, hold on to your hats.
Look at this huge book.
Oh, that's got a lovely bit of bling on it. What's that?
This is the Mukhtasar of Qudur. This is a
have you got a Bible? Let me just throw it out there and try not to sound like aggressive when I do it.
I have a Quran, but I do have a Bible.
No. I said a Bible.
Yeah, I have one right here.
Oh, I'll let you off.
This is a New American Standard Bible.
Oh, okay. Yeah, actually, it's nothing. By the way, that's not a book of Islamic theology, sadly. But anyway, so this is the Ali Dawah Appreciation Society starter kit. I don't know if you can see it. It's a teensy violin and a teensy bow for when they all start crying, and like jihad starts being justified. So yes, I'm interrupted. Yeah, I am. Yeah.
Here, I also have a very nice looking little New King James Version Bible.
Lovely. 2 whole Bibles.
And I also have a New International Version Bible here. I have 3 different Bibles.
Shut the front door, someone. He's got 3. Say not 3, but say 3 if there's 3. Okay.
And I have Zakir Naik's book, The Quran and Modern Science.
Can he write? Can Zakir Naik write?
I don't.
Can he write?
I don't think so.
Ghost written.
I've got
CP's book.
This is a book arguing for scientific miracles in the Quran.
I've got CP, Science in the Quran. I just remembered. It's up there, and I read it in his voice, weirdly, which is good.
Ali Dawah debunks here. Yeah,
no
I have
way.
lots of stuff here as well. I mean,
so I think I can't remember who made the assertion, but you're clearly talking crap, whoever you are. Oh, Saladin. So you might want to, I don't know, watch watch a video every now and then.
Yeah.
So
This is
yeah.
funny. This funny Armor of God says, "Look how thin that book is." Seriously, this is the Science Miracles book. That's how thin it is.
CP's is kind of padded, like there's big spaces in between and stuff. But yeah, I did get up 15 of those now debunked miracles. So some of them are such a stretch, it's embarrassing. But I mean, it's all embarrassing. Yeah, maybe I'll reel them off on a live soon. Yeah, Cherokee likes the NASB. That's why I stopped short of deriding it when I realised it was her preferred translation. So you have got a Bible then. So all of your admiration for Bill Nye is, I think it's bravado. A lot of it.
It's going in the bin, as you would say.
But I would say the bin, but I wouldn't be throwing a book in the bin, even the Quran. I've got a few of those as well. I haven't got Mein Kampf though, so
I have Quran pages all over the floor right now, so I can't say.
now, see, now I've got no aversion to books being damaged by other people, but me personally, it took me a while to get over putting pencil marks in. I just like books, but yeah,
I like it too. I actually like having Qurans at home, but it's just sometimes they provoke this whole desire to rip one up just for
destruction.
Yeah,
Fun.
just as protest, and then it just lands here like this, and then I have to buy new Qurans again.
No, you don't. They give them out free. Come on now. I always take a free one because that means somebody else isn't getting the free one.
I actually ordered a bunch of Qurans that all look like the one that I showed you earlier in bulk. I don't know how many I got, but I think I only have one left because I ripped up the others. Yeah.
I would say you're amazing, but it's still ripping up a book, even though it's because I often get asked, well, Hitler's book, you'd burn that, and I'm like, no, I really wouldn't. I just wouldn't. I
actually made a video ripping up Mein Kampf just to make a dumb point.
Just to even it out.
Yeah. But, yeah.
Oh, well, I mean, then that's fair enough. What can you say? I mean, he's balanced. I'm gonna go possibly away from the vitriol. Has anybody got any questions for either myself or AP that doesn't involve our sex lives? I mean, it's a crazy concept, I know, on a theology-related stream.
Completely went off track here, but yeah, whatever.
No worries. So did the Quran. That's right. Uthman, he got them all together and he made a little bonfire. Stop arguing with the retards, people, because I'm here as a retard, as it were. You can chat to them anytime in the comment section. They're always there. They have. That's all right. Look, literally, he's walked on. They don't have long on this planet, as none of us do. So, like it's Paul speaks about pointless arguments. He's talking about genealogy and the law, but rebuke twice, buy a pair of sandals, get them dusty, and then dust them off. So yeah, creative use. Any questions? And you can at my whole name if you don't mind. Sweet pickles or sour? That's a brilliant question. I like jalapenos pickled, so it's not a sweet or sour thing. It's a pickled hot thing. I like other things pickled. I don't mind. Yeah, I have some sweet mixed in with my savoury, but no, in terms of pickles, it has to be hot enough that I'm almost crying. Another thing. And when I went to the presbytery to see the priest the other day, the nun was Indian. And the food that she gave me, even though I could eat it, because I just finished telling her how tough I was with my spicy food regime, I was like dripping. So, he's back with his books. Someone's touched a nerve. The ego's landed, everyone. But how many other books have you got that you are? How many other books have you got that you aren't reading?
I picked up some more random books because I wanted to show how much I
love it.
This is a very dumb book about Muhammad. I don't know why I got this one.
Well, it matches the others. I don't know.
This is the Buddhist Bhagavad Gita. Nothing to do with anything at all. But
I've got a psychological assessment of Muhammad, The People versus Muhammad. Very good book, everybody.
Okay. I meant to say Hindu, not Buddhist. I don't know why I just said Buddhist, because I love Buddhism over Hinduism.
Doesn't Buddhism spring from? Oh no, it's Sikhism. I don't know.
Look at this guy. Look at this guy. This book looks really used here. But
What as is my question. Used as a book?
not
Okay,
really,
sorry,
not-
Armour of God. I don't know how many times you have to ask, but if it's me, I'll.
So here's a collection of mutawatir, mass transmitted hadiths.
It was the amount of books, Armour of God, is the answer to your question, but I'll double check with you.
Here's Ibn Qayyim's book, Provisions of the Hereafter, which is some really
I
impressive.
think he's having a breakdown at the moment, but we're nodding and being kind. What's that one? No, come on, darling, tell me, what is it? Don't leave them out.
The mainstay concerning jurisprudence, Al-Umda al-Fiqh of Ibn Qudama, which is very...
Do you ever think, even secretly in your own brain, hi Harriel, that you might find a nugget of something that like reconvinces you, or like are you hoping that there's something of value in them, or do you just like feeling superior and like right? Because that's
Wait a minute. I've been looking for this book all over the place, and I just found it because of Saladin. That's funny.
There you go. I was about to say Romans 8:28, but Bill Nye, chapter 1, verse 2, probably. What was the final nail in the coffin, AP, before Armour of God has an actual aneurysm for you apostatizing? Like literally the hair on the camel's back. No pun. Was it the amount of books that you physically had to carry around with you?
No, it was. You mean for leaving Islam?
Yes.
I think I like to think that it was. I don't even know, but I like to think that it was one of those scientific things that I had big trouble with, something related to the sun and the sky, because I remember days where it's like it's extremely hot outside. I'm fasting. I'm tired. I'm walking, and I'm just thinking about the sky and the sun as they're described in the Quran, and I'm trying to push out that all the questions and the thoughts out of my head. But then at some point, I think it was during the military when I was when I had to do my military service in Turkey, where I had a lot of time to think, and I actually permitted for the first time to just allow myself to question things. And I thought so far I have always refused to go down a certain path. But if Allah gave me this mind and this brain, if I am supposed to have it, why should I not be able to use it to the fullest? So I thought it cannot possibly be wrong for me to try to understand and to find the truth. And I feel like once I allowed that, there was no stopping anymore. It all fell apart.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing about House of Cards is you only really have to, or like Jenga, you just have to pull out the right piece.
Yeah.
And I know what you mean about people protect even the most like I don't know, like the most damaging coping mechanisms, or the memories that I don't know, like we have a thing as humans for familiar misery over terrifying change. Even if it's a good change, people are most likely to, or certain personality types especially, are more likely to stay with the thing that's average rather than try and fail at something else. And the red line is what you were talking about, that Yasser Qadhi spoke about, the thing of you get to that questioning mark and then you go, oh, I better ask. Like, oh, no, yeah.
And I remember looking for answers to the questions that I had, especially like, for example, that whole part in the Quran about Dhul Qarnayn and how he who he was, and he goes to the place where the sun sets and where it rises and all that stuff. And that part, whenever I read the Quran, it just threw me off and confused me. And I remember going online and looking for answers with the limited stuff back then, and asking people, reading about it, and the answers that I got to solve that whole problem just were not satisfying at all. And it's I mean, I like to think I don't know, the mind is weird. When you think back, it looks like you had these thoughts back then, but maybe you actually didn't have those thoughts back then. But I think it felt like I realized that the answers that they try to give are just answers which you are meant to take and just, you know, sweep it under the rug. They're not actual answers. They don't actually answer the question, but you're just.
There's a Muslim I know. I've known him for, I don't know, over 2 decades. Sometimes he seems more sincere or more concerned with Islam than at other times. Like he wouldn't let it get in the way of I don't know, like life sometimes. But now, almost unthinkingly, I'll reference things. And it's very rare that he even knows what I'm talking about, and he'll maintain. It doesn't say that. Then when I show him, it does say that. The last couple of things I sent him, because he asked for them, he said, I'm going to go and ask now. That's it. On Friday when I go to prayers, I'm going to go and ask. Like as if I said, go for it. Like I've been asking for ages. But like you say, the answer would only work for someone who wanted it to be like even related to the question. About the boys in Jannah, the answer was something along the lines of no, sexual desire, it just won't be like that. No, it's nothing to do with boy. And I'm like, but the mile-long erect penises. And he was like, what? Like, so then he has to scurry off back again, and it's like Friday after Friday. And I said, how do you know you can trust the guy who's telling you this? And he said he won't even get a parking ticket. He's so honest. And I was like, yeah, it's not really like, that's not my idea of a top theologian. But,
you can be as honest and as a good person as you want to be. That doesn't mean that you will actually, that you will always deliver the truth, right? That's not a yardstick for skill, for truthfulness in all fields. And the thing is, people also like to lie to themselves. People don't just like to lie to others. People also, and I think this is one of the big problems that we often deal with. People lie to themselves because they want to make themselves believe a certain thing and find comfort in that, and then they want to spread the very lies which they themselves accepted to others without
because they associate it with the comfort of not being. So the thing about the human, I mean, there's no way we could get it into this stream, but the mind has got a self-defense, a level of defensiveness about itself and its own like peace of mind, quote unquote, that is. It's astonishing, and it's devious to the point of, I mean, there's self-deception. Obviously, you don't know that you're deceiving yourself, but people, I don't know why marital examples are coming up now, but like you could know somebody's cheating on you. You could know that they're not really committed to whatever, like something or other. You can know it, and your mind will actively fight against it and come up with, for me, procrastination. Like on my conscious level, I know that I do it. When I'm not in that mood, I like try and set little things to myself. I think, remember this. Remember, so that you tell yourself, don't listen to that nonsense. But then when I'm in it, I hear myself in my own mind saying, do you know what, Wednesday sounds like a really good day. Like this is on Thursday. Yeah, maybe if I left it to after the 20th. And I really believe, like it's because I want to believe it. People don't want to believe that their children are gangbangers or their husband's out doing, I don't know, murders in the woods or whatever they, get up to. And if you don't want to believe it, that's the whole point about emotional honesty in all things, religion or like worldviews as well. Like if you secretly don't want to know the truth, you'll have a brilliant time not finding the truth. Like, and you'll actively kick and scream against it. So.
And that's the thing. I feel like it was always very hard for me to just accept things without fully believing that they are actually true. And I feel like that's a curse sometimes. But
no, I've got that as well.
It feels incredibly uncomfortable if there are questions in my head which I know are not properly answered.
Or just questions, AP. Just questions. If you can't get the answers, if the person with the source of information is some sort of emotional retard, for example, or like a very introvert, there are certain people who just shut down. Their coping mechanism is just they don't want to talk about it. They don't want to talk about it. They don't want to. They just don't want to. But for people who have the thing that I think you and I share, which is they can't be loose ends, because if there are loose ends, that represents a variable, and therefore that means that if you pull that loose end, the rest of it may become unraveled. But you have to know like the full spectrum of, well, not everything, but as much as can be like integrative to finding out the truth about something. And that's why I've got hope for you anyway, is because I don't think you're one of those atheists or agnostics or anti-theists that there are some who I've spoken to personally. I say, what if you had overwhelming evidence like presented to you? I haven't got it, but what if, you know, you woke up tomorrow, the headlines and all of that stuff. And I've had on occasion people say, I still wouldn't go look. Like yeah, okay, I'd say, all right, it's true. I don't want a bar of it. Like, and that to me is like sort of shocking, you know.
I think about that. I thought about that before, but even if it was Islam, right? Or even a different.
Yeah, see, I'm biased already. I'm like, oh no.
I know, but I have to be very honest. Even if it was Islam, but for the sake of the argument here, if it was a different belief, or Christianity, or the belief in God, if I did indeed find overwhelming evidence and all my questions were actually answered, I became convinced that it is actually true, I would then accept that it is the truth. I wouldn't further deny it. I mean, I would,
because that shows some sort of intellectual, like, honesty, integrity. Yeah. There are people who have got skin in the game, like, because it's anti-theism. That's the thing. They all get married together. There are people who hate God so much they can't disbelieve in God because they're so busy having a dysfunctional relationship with the idea they've got.
Yeah.
That people, don't you just love them? Don't you just find that they're an endless source of?
I had that. You know, there was a time in the past where I thought, where I had this rather childish or heroic thing, this idiotic idea where I thought
this male thing. Sorry,
right, but even if there is a God, even if that whole story is true, I would still not accept it because it's unjust.
Like
but that was a very, very short phase, and I later thought, okay, that's very stupid. You know, I'm just
well done for admitting it, though. I mean, that's the. No, seriously, I mean, I remember, like, as a child, I may have, not about God, because by the time I came away, it was personal to me. Like, I would say, and I think on a superficial level, I believed that I don't believe in God. And I would always I liked arguing, but I would just come with, had a big range of them, but they were all a bit like Christopher Hitchens, really. Like, they sound comprehensive, and then when you actually look into them, they're just supposition and incredulity and some other argument. But yeah, I had that thing of, well, even if it is true, I don't want to be in that. I can't play the tambourine. I don't look good in a rain mac on the street saying Jesus, you know. But turns out I do. But,
there is one thing that could convince me, and I see it in the chat.
Me, it's sitting right here.
No,
I'm a she, by the way, not an it.
No, no. Black Angel just brought it up, but for Islam, for example, the only one thing would convince me, that is, if some rich sheikhs from the Middle East offered me a bunch of benefits for converting back to Islam. I mean, that's one possibility there. I would.
Do you know, I listened to a podcast. It's not very Christian at all, and they had a very similar, like a thought experiment for anal sex, involving Saudis and like private jet and as much money as you like. I really, for a hot second, thought we were like, because I mean, this is the thing. There was a Christian guy approached some people and he was like, would you lie if these were the circumstances? And to a man, everyone was like, yeah. And then it was, would you? I think eventually it was, would you murder a guy? But he's beating up some chick, and he's definitely like a bit skeezy, and you know, like she looks like she's fighting for her life. And most of them were like, and the caveat was, if no one would ever find out. And that's the thing, you know yourself, like, especially if you were to have overwhelming evidence and then dismiss it, you know deep down that it's different to lie to yourself when you don't know.
Yeah.
But once you know, it's like, people, however low on the moral, or however you would call it, however free and easy they are with the truth or their own integrity, nobody wants to. People who are proud of lying, it's because of what they get from it and being superior to other people. Because look, I've fooled them all. But lying to yourself is not usually something that anyone wants to think they're doing.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. There's somebody.
Limited time. Oh, no, sorry, go on.
I am in the chat says you have AP as ex-Muslim while we have the great Professor Dr. Bart Ehrman as ex-Christian. That speaks so much. I don't even.
It's not great for him, but he also I don't know who. And we have I don't know.
Bart Ehrman thinks Islam is nonsense. So
and Bart Ehrman also vouchsafes that the crucifixion happened, and that the Bible at least shows that Jesus is God. And didn't he compare the Quran to a telephone directory?
Yeah. So here are things he says. He says
I used to read directories; they were more interesting, to be honest.
He says Islam is nonsensical. He says Islam is completely unreliable about Jesus. Jesus was most definitely crucified. The gospel authors most definitely thought Jesus was God. He said a bunch of these things. So I don't know.
Which shows again that he's got the honesty at least.
Yeah.
Because and the skin in the game, that's the other thing. Once you a bit like Jordan Peterson maybe, but there has to come a break in like your persona, like your image of yourself. If you base your like public persona on a certain hill that you're going to die on, and then you find it that's why I was impressed with AP in the first place, because it takes balls to, not that he was out there online preaching for jihad and all that, but in his own private life he was in it to win it. He was committed to the cause. He was doing a bit of Arabic on the side, backpacks and beards and all manner of piousness, But it takes balls to come out and say I was wrong, because it's not whether Muhammad was wrong or Jesus was wrong or Bart Ehrman is right or wrong. And by the way, he's only a New Testament scholar. He's not like a biblical, comprehensively. But I don't find him onerous at all, really. I can listen to him cast aspersions on his own subjective truth about the Bible, because why wouldn't he? He's an academic. At least he's not like Islamic academia prior to Yasser Qadhi, when you can't even ask a question.
Yeah.
So
that's true.
Yeah, and he's got a funny laugh as well. It does endear people to me when they visibly have fun with what they're doing.
See, and that's the difference between Christian scholars or ex-Christian scholars or atheist scholars, and then all of them contrast them to Muslim scholars. You have all these scholars who are actually open to admit that they are wrong about things. They are open to having proper conversations, discussions, debates. They say, "Come and ask me things. I will have
scholarly research." In fact,
yeah, and then you have Muslim scholars who are like, "Oh no, I will not go to this channel. Don't ask me about this. Let's not talk about this. I don't debate."
It's a shame. And you know what else I just considered? Is self-censoring, because obviously Muhammad's not around. There's no Sharia in Muslim people's living rooms. Even when I say to them, just pray privately in your own mind, the truth, obviously, of Christianity I'm talking about will come to you if it's true that you'll know. Just that, sometimes they're like, "Oh," you're thinking, but God knows what's in your mind already if you believe it. Even if you don't believe, He still knows. But there's outward facing stuff, which is normally like the Pharisees and people praying in the streets, and it's all for show. It's all for somebody else, because meanwhile at home they could be having a ham sandwich as we speak.
Yeah, it's funny. Wasn't that yesterday? No, that was on Sunday.
Ham sandwiches. I did have a ham roll yesterday.
No, on Sunday there was a live stream of Sheikh Uthman being live with this YouTuber Sneeko, and they were in his regular park where he usually is. They were streaming and talking about religion, and then there was one part where it was prayer time and they started praying, and the stream then turns into this show of them lining up there and praying, and then the guy with the camera just goes around filming them how they're praying, and it's just so sleazy and dumb,
we have on the way into Speaker's Corner. It's just co-opted, really. They say it looks like people are selling second-hand rugs, but then different times of the day there's just lots of derrieres, we're going to call them, people in the air, I mean, it's disconcerting because I don't really want to look at people's backsides as I'm just, walking out for a sandwich, as it were, ham or otherwise. But Jesus literally said, don't pray like these hypocrites on the street corners where everyone can see you. Don't make your face look pale with your fasting, because it's all for brownie points. He didn't say that bit. It's all for human approval. And that's literally that's the most unimportant part of anyone's life. It's none of your business, spoiler alert, not you, everyone, what other people think of you. It's what you think of yourself that outranks that all day long. And then for theists, it's what God thinks of you. But what you think of yourself dictates your mood, your health, your perception of reality. Like, the difference between being depressed and it colours and mars everything. So
it's true.
I don't know, like if you're the chance, like I could be one of those fake psychics. Do you have a problem right now? Are you keeping things from yourself or others? Like, do you feel like there's someone you need to talk to, or you want to say but you shouldn't and you couldn't and you can't? Just do it. Life is so short. Like, literally, people could have died. Well, people have died since we've been streaming. Hopefully not because of the stream, but they do love attention, Troy. Like, everybody does. Like, there's not everybody, apart from like real clinical introverted avoidant types, but positive attention or negative is preferable to being ignored mostly. Like, but not. That's it. It's the attention for the. Look how pious I am.
Everybody wants.
One thing. As I walked in, the other week, they were all praying, and there was an English girl sitting on a chair right back among the arses. I don't know how else to put it, at the back of the line, but she was just sitting there. I don't know if she was even aware, but I must have pulled her face, not to her, but like, oof. And they carried on walking, and the guy got out of his pram, to say to me, "Oh, you can't stand seeing people praying." And I was like, bro, I was looking at the woman. Is she really allowed to be there that close to her? And then he was like, ugh. And then obviously I just finished him off with a quick tongue lashing. But sorry, you were going to say something.
Are they really? Do they really tell you to? Do they tell you not to? I don't know. Do they command appropriate behavior from you while they are there doing?
They try. Now they know me, it's a little different. But no, initially I got lots of offers of sex, and occasionally they pretended it was dinner, but mainly it was sex. And that was like for the first maybe 2 or 3 weeks. And then once word got once they knew I just wasn't a white woman, sort of being duped, the offers dried up. So actually, that's a lie. I still do get some, but not as brazenly. But yeah, once they know that they still, if they've got no argument, they'll make some comment. If it's like 40 degrees, they'll say, "Oh, but look, your legs are showing," and I'm like, "Yeah." Oh no. Like, why don't you go and get a husband? I'm like, well, the last one escaped. Like, some days it's just not worth binding them up again. Like, it's a joke, but. Yeah, they will try. They'll say, "Oh, teaching in the church. Oh, shouldn't you have your head covered? Mary was a Muslim, They all talk in that weird voice. But no, you don't have to have your head covered, by the way, ladies. It says your hair is your glory and a covering for your head.
Yeah.
So stick that in your pipes, chauvinist, and probably smoke it.
That reminds me of this dumb thing, which this one Muslim channel shared this video, which is a very old video recording of people in the UK, in London, I think, and it shows that people have have head covers and stuff like that, and the Muslim puts a caption there and says, "Look, English people wearing hijab 100 years ago," and it's.
Sorry, I can do the Macarena. I don't really know the whole wiggly bit of the Islamic thing. But yeah, in Britain, it was traditional, customary, right up until, sorry, I've got to sniff.
But the thing is, the logic behind the logic behind it wasn't that women are supposed to, cover their heads, and that this is.
No, men as well. No, everybody. Even children. You will see. I can post some in the community tab of just seas of Englishmen. Oh, what a lovely thought. Like just with their heads covered, everybody. And in church, the men would remove their hats, but the ladies wouldn't. And it's polite society in those days, at least, was a man would remove his hat for a lady, but the lady wouldn't uncover her head because it was deemed, I don't know, it was a bit like showing your ankles, maybe, or because Victorians, that's why tablecloths, everyone. I am disinterested at parties, yes. That's why they invented tablecloths, because they were sure that men would be driven wild with sexual desire by the sight of the curved, like ornate oak lion's legs of the tables. So don't go looking up lion's leg tables, obviously, you chaps. I know what you do on the internet.
That makes complete sense, yeah. I
think of course, what doesn't? What are you not getting, everyone?
I have to go. I have to go up because I will look up that right now.
A life is what we call it.
Yeah.
But thank you ever so much.
No, I will have to look up lion's legs and stuff. And
listen, there's some sexy ones, don't get me wrong, but self-control people, like, come on. Nowadays you've got tiger legs potentially, but so we will reconvene the society, you, David, and I, at a time as yet to be undecided, a bit like God in the Bible with end times. It will be a conjunction and convergence of events, and then we'll all appear, the three of us, and do some more piss taking, as I like to call it.
Definitely.
Brilliant. You're an absolute ledge. Thanks for coming on. And
you too.
Yeah. What have you got in the? Stick around in this studio a second, because I've got a 2-minute, not even 30-second thing to remind you of. But have you got any, other than the brilliance that is just deriding and mocking, like any specific things you want to promote or tell people that are coming and stuff?
No, not really.
End times.
I'm just
got you. Sorry. Yeah.
I'm just going with the flow right now.
Well, the flow is accept Jesus, everyone. Just because it is my channel, this is
just
the flow.
going with the flow and the waves and all of that stuff. I'm trying to do live streams and trying to work on some videos. And I will prophesy that Islam will come to an end within the next 200 years. That's what I said before.
I think 2 years. I thought you said, I thought in my brain. I don't think anywhere else, actually. But I thought earlier, I thought he said 2 years, and that might even be true now. But you said 200. But
I did specify a few days ago that I'm currently waiting for a new revelation, because it might be abrogated, because a lot of developments are happening right now. So it might be faster than 200 years. Maybe there will be an abrogation. I'm not entirely sure. But,
well, it could be. You could have meant that, and and the messenger marked it up.
Maybe.
Brilliant.
Possibly, but that's probably it. Yeah.
All right. It's our pleasure, Arbor of God, and everybody else who said thank you to the two Muslims who have got like sexual frustration and interrelational problems when related to other human beings. Like, seriously, God bless you, and I hope you get what you're looking for, if it's something legal and reasonable. So I'm gonna press end, and we'll be back soon. And I'm gonna make public the video, the other one,
definitely,
and loads of good chisel is what I'm trying to say. All right, lots of love, everyone. And
thanks everybody. And
subscribe to his channel, because he's hard up for a couple of subscribers. He never ever tells people to subscribe to mine.
Subscribe to
without. There you go. Yeah. It's like demanding hugs and then be like, oh, he hugged me. Right. I'm going to press end because I've threatened it 17 times now. Okay. All right. Thanks, Martin. Thanks, Alma. Thanks, everybody. All right. Ciao, ciao. That's